My name is James Williams Jr. and this is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I haven't posted my videos up yet because I just got my camera back. So first let me give a good old shout out to the guys at Geek Squad. Thank you guys for only keeping my computer for 3 days instead of all 4, which is totally fucking awesome. I greatly appreciate it. Now let me get down to business. I did a video about being Vance Astro for Halloween because I'm going to be Vance Astro. I'm not going to rip the sleeves off or anything, but I will say this. It would behoove you guys who sell costumes to do some research on extra comic book characters. You know, the X-Men and the Avengers aren't the only comics that people read. Spider-Man and Batman and Superman aren't the only, and the Green Lantern and the Flash aren't the only comic book heroes in existence that you guys seem to gravitate to. There are some of us who read comics that a lot of people don't really gravitate to. Like if you read anything from Dark Horse, you're not going to be able to give me a X-Men comic. And if you read anything from Harbinger, you're not going to be able to give me an Ultra Force comic unless they were actually Image and not Harbinger. Anyway, if you read Image, you're not going to be able to get. If you don't read any of the comics that I mentioned, you're not going to be able to give me a Grifter or a Marlowe or a Hadrian from the Wildcats. You're not going to be able to give me a Youngbloods costume. You're not going to be able to give me a Spawn costume. And you guys who are making all these costumes, if you're watching this, you should probably look into other comic books that are like totally cool. Maybe I want to be Judge Dredd. It was a comic book. Maybe I want to be Savage Dragon. Of course, there's probably not enough green makeup in the world that can make me look like the Savage Dragon, plus the little dorsal fin thingy. But you know, these are comics that were great at its soul, and they still selling to this day. Or at least Savage Dragon and Spawn, or I can't really speak too much about Wildcats and them, and Youngbloods and stuff like that. Maybe I want to be Die Hard. He has a shield just like Cap, but he has a whole suit on just like Vance Astro, and he was a badass like Snake Eyes. Maybe I want to be Snake Eyes. Maybe you guys are looking at some other comic book ventures when you're making these costumes so that people can go outside the box instead of being reserved to just Marvel or DC characters. Now, don't get me wrong. I am an awesomely more Marvel than DC fan. Granted, I'm not really happy with what Marvel's doing with the X-Men right now, but in that same breath, in that token, I am the ultimate Marvel and DC fan. I would love to be on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that's not going to happen because I don't have an agent and no one's actually looking at my channel except for my 13 followers and who I thank and love with all my heart. Thank you guys. Now back on the matter at hand. When I go costume shopping, especially since I'm not big enough to fit in an adult and I'm too big to fit into a children's costume, it would behoove you guys if you made costumes for short grown men who reach 5'3" to 5'4" in height. Since I'm technically only 5'3" and a half, 5'3" will do. Maybe it'll like fill out, whatever. But you guys really are looking to making costumes for shorter people and making costumes off of comic books that are not known by everyone but still well known. It's kind of like my career. I'm the actor that you don't know of, never heard of, and probably never will. But the 13 people who watch me, they know who I am. I haven't really accomplished a lot in my career because my career has not taken off in 16 years. I started making independent films in 2000, the year of the dragon. However, I also got struck down by kidney stones, which kind of ruined a lot of the stuff that I wanted to film. And however, to the cast of that movie, it will be coming onto this channel as soon as possible. I'm sorry it took 16 years, but I was so focused on trying to get my shit together, trying to save a relationship, and everything and anything that could go wrong slapped me dead in the face. And then I joined the army. And then things got worse, which is why I have a hip replacement. And speaking of which, since no one really believes that I have a hip replacement, don't worry, you're not going to see my wanker. I've done this before, so I'll do it again. For those who can withstand the graphic violence, there's a scar right there. See that? Scar. Hip replacement. Which goes back to some of the things that I've did videos on. I did a video a couple of weeks back, maybe a month or so back, about the UFC and MMA being a bunch of punk ass bitches because they wouldn't let guys in the 120 to 115 class fight until now. Now at 43 years old, with a hip replacement in tow and a hip replacement in need, no doctor in the world is going to clear me to prove that I am one of the best, if not the best of the best. Now, when I made that video, most of it was out of anger, but most of it was also true. 15 years ago, if you can take 43 from 15 and do my age, 15 years ago, I was the shit. Ask anybody. They'll tell you, you didn't come fucking with James. Now, I wasn't going to people's backyard knocking people out like Kimbo Slice, because a true martial artist does not start fights, we finish them. But most of the time, it's all about my training. So, while I was training to get good, and praying that there would be one day, just one day, where I could go into the UFC or MMA and prove my fighting skills, there was just one little itty-bitty glitch. I don't weigh shit. And because I never made it over the 130 mark, I would not be allowed to fight. Now that they have that, I'm crippled. Funny. I made it to 135 pounds while I was in the Army, and now that I had to have a hip replacement, I'm not allowed to go over 130 pounds, which goes back to that clusterfuck of no doctor in the world is going to let me get into the UFC ring. And if I'm ever able to actually throw kicks again, that would be a miracle in itself. I believe in miracles. But, you know, it's been quite difficult when the thing you love the most is taken from you because you can't do it. So my acting career, as great as it could have been, providing that other things beyond my control would have just fell into place, like the mysterious magical studio in Petersburg, Virginia, that does not give you a fighting chance either, with that promise of Hollywood East giving me the Hollywood double finger and not letting me have an opportunity. So basically, what this boils down to is this video is a random opportunity miscalled video. I've never made it past the casting call. So I've never made it to the casting couch, because apparently they don't think that I'm black. Okay? Now, I know this sounds really funky, but you know, hell, truth be told, black people don't think that I'm black. No, it's not because I'm high yellow and I just refuse to wear long sleeve shirts so that this here can match this here. Alright? The fact of the matter is there aren't any people writing about multicultural characters, so there are no multicultural actors outside of The Rock taking all the roles. Hey, whatever works. I'm not knocking him. I'm celebrating him. Because see, the thing about black people is that a lot of black people just don't want us to succeed. That will be another video for another time. Anyway, as I close out, you know, going back to my costume and my comics, you know, you guys really need to dig into more comics so that more people like me can be the heroes that we want. Anybody can be the Crow. You get some white face paint, slap it all over your face, shadow star the eyes, good to go. And a trench coat. And he really used whatever weapons was on hand. So, you know, oh yeah, you get a rubber crow set on your shoulder. You'd be awesome. You'd be the Crow. Anyhow, long hair helps, because there's only been like one short-haired crow, and that was the guy from Resident Evil who became Nemesis. But other than that, for those who aren't down with the Crow, when the TV show came on, Mark Dacascos went back to playing the character that Brandon Lee played as an Eric Draven. So, in closing, please, costume stores, look at more comic books. Please find more comic book designs. Please give us Spider-Man 99. Please give us Miles Morales Spider-Man. Give us Spider-Side. Give us Carnage. Give us Venom. Give us Agent Venom. Give us Anti-Venom. Yeah, I would rock all of those. Oh yeah, and you can start giving us more X-Men costumes too. I'm James Williams Jr. And give us bigger, better Deadpool and Cable and X-Force costumes. Just give us all kinds of stuff. This has been James Williams Jr. at Come for Having number 2. Be seeing you.